Wow, this is definitely a great thing just to have fun, but of course there will be people who would want to commercialize it. That's why I decided to talk about VR and advertising. VR is a definitely revolutionary thing for advertising, and I think it's the future of it. It allows your potential customers to see and actually feel the product as if they have already purchased it. It creates empathy and has a more greater impact on people because during the VR experience, people are placed in the really center of the plot. Nowadays, advertising or marketing has become a really important part of our lives. Like, oh, what's the time? Huh? Brand? Huh? I'm thirsty. The brand? I'm bored. I need to check my Instagram. The brand? My grandma and my parents are always complaining that like 20 years ago, there were no ads on TV, not at all. And right now, we cannot even imagine our lives without like break for commercial ads between the TV shows or going to the cinema with friends and seeing all those trailers and sponsoring logos before the actual movie starts. What is advertising itself? The definition is really wide. So I decided to go to Wikipedia, another brand, and to see the definition. Advertising is a form of marketing communication used to promote or sell something, usually a business's product or service. In 2015, the world spent almost $600 billion on advertising. So there's no need to prove that advertising really matters. Numbers speak for themselves. But this is a really huge sphere, so I would like to specify the fields that I'm interested in. These are the 3 topics that I'd like to talk about today: brands and VR, travel advertising, and third, the music videos and VR as a way to build an image of a particular band or a singer. Advertising has a lot to do with brands. Product demos can change consumer behavior completely. Fashion shows, cars, department stores. With VR, we can take a closer look to every of these products. For example, Tesco, a British multinational merchandise retailer. It has already created a virtual reality store. Many companies have already spent billions of dollars on this sphere. You can see brands creating room-scaled simulations for the customers to interact with the branded goods. General Electric's Global Chief Marketing Officer, Linda Boff, believes VR has a great potential to revolutionize the marketing. The capacity of VR, along with the 360-degree video, to put a viewer in the center of experience, such as transporting them to a holiday resort, music gig, or sporting event, opens up a new territory for the brand. For example, hiking boot brand Merrell launched a VR campaign this year. They allow viewers to actually feel as if they were crossing the rickety mountain bridge. People were amazed, terrified, speechless. That made them want to do it for real. Meanwhile, Nike is also trying to create something like this. It's recently made its fans feel themselves in the shoes of a very famous Brazilian soccer player. VR also opens the way to some, I would call it, charity-based advertising. Good example is Tom's Shoes Company. They have a policy. Each pair of shoes you purchase, another pair of shoes goes to the child in need. This was a virtual reality trip to Peru with the volunteers bringing the shoes to the local school so that kids from the poor families wouldn't need to think about such simple basic needs. Being in the center of the scene, seeing all the emotions of those children and volunteers really makes you go and buy this pair of shoes. At the end of the video, of course, the creators carefully remind you the logo of the company responsible for that video, so that you don't forget to go buy these specific shoes. I would say this is some kind of very carefully done, pleasant, and even helpful product placement. For the brands, I almost only talked about boots, but it's okay. Now, traveling advertisement. Tourist companies, hotels, and so many different things. They're all actually also brands. For example, have you ever searched for a hotel or an apartment before going to a trip? Yes, I also did so. And has it ever happened that the actual hotel room didn't even seem as much fabulous as it was on the pictures that you saw on the web? Once I also booked a hotel, very nice and cozy, considering from the pictures that I saw. But when we got there, it appeared to be a terrible mess. So in order to escape this kind of situation, I think that would be really great to establish some kind of VR service for hotels. Imagine the service when you are able to book a room at a hotel and see a VR perspective of it right away. Amazing, right? And maybe you can not only walk through the room but see all the facilities and the halls as well. That's what the future of advertising looks to me. And I think many people will use it. And those companies who won't provide this kind of service will be far behind the others. They could even have the policy like, if the room doesn't match the VR version, you could get a discount or something like that. I would like it. I think mostly it will be used on the web as it's more convenient for the users just to go online and see what you need. It's like an advanced version of Google Maps. So cool and so simple. For example, I have this really nice picture that I bought in Ilan. It was kind of expensive actually, but I really liked it. It makes me feel that I'm in there. This is the first step, and when I imagine that one day I would be able to just put on the VR glasses and find myself over there in the picture, I think that would be amazing. And now the music industry. You would think, why did I choose to mention it? What does it have to do with advertising? Well, according to what I've said recently, advertising is used to promote or sell something. Nowadays, music is a commercial product made for sale. And actually, if we think, the singers are also some kind of products. They are selling their image to the world. And VR can help them do it. VR, PR, notice the similarity? I've just watched a music video called Revolt by Muse. It is totally immersive. It allows you to actually feel, to actually be there in the plot with all of those strange drones and tanks shooting at you and fighting with each other, and at the same time you'll see a great stage and the band performing on it. I think that's kind of great. This isn't a music video in a traditional sense. It's an experience. That's what the director of the movie says. What we really wanted to do is to present a band in a really epic way. That was his priority. As we've all seen thousands of music videos and live shows, so we're now not surprised that this industry is moving to a whole different level. This is just a new way to sell and advertise the music product, and of course the new way to present an image of a particular artist. I think music videos are really suitable field for the VR to spread its influence. Firstly, they are short, not more than 3-5 minutes, so it's not too tiring for people to watch. Secondly, it's a great opportunity for the fans to feel the actual presence of their idol in the room. It's like a private live show. A well-made VR video will definitely increase the popularity of a certain singer or band, and of course will help him sell more tickets to the live shows. Or they can stream it live. There are already experience on such events streaming on the web, and it's getting bigger. Mark Zuckerberg himself announced the launching of the Facebook dynamic streaming during the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. This is all very exciting. But what are the difficulties and pitfalls of VR using with advertising? William Surgeon, a co-founder of an Oscar-winning visual effects company, Framestore, says, "There is an inclination at the moment to do ads last minute or make complicated, ambitious ads in a matter of weeks. That doesn't work in VR." He advises brands to only use VR when it's relevant. It's just one tool at the marketer's disposal. Second is the motion sickness. Watching a badly conceived VR can make you sick for the rest of the day. From my experience, even those videos who were great made me a little bit dizzy and disorientated. VR does not operate like any other medium. It's a completely different storytelling language. To add to this, I would like to say that the introduction of this virtual reality makes us see the actual real life differently. We lose the feeling of excitement. We become more sophisticated and pixel when we see a thing in real life that we just saw in VR. However, despite all of these pitfalls and disadvantages, I think VR and advertising are getting along pretty well. Add here the fact that according to Juniper Research, there will be more than 12 million headset sales by the end of 2016. Are you excited? I definitely am.